LEGO Icons, also known as LEGO Creator Expert, is a fan favorite theme across the world of LEGO sets. But as someone who talks to LEGO investors every single day, people who buy LEGO sets and hold them while values skyrocket in retirement, is LEGO Creator Expert or Icons a good theme for LEGO investing? How does this theme stack up against other themes when it comes to buying sets and holding them while the values go up? Is it a theme where you can get a great return on investment by buying sets before manufacturing stops on those sets? So let's just jump in and talk about this, because this is a theme that I have a lot of history with, and over the years I have invested in a lot of these sets. Now I'm going to use LEGO Icons and LEGO Creator Expert interchangeably because there's two names for the same thing. These are the larger LEGO sets, typically with a lot of pieces inside of the box, usually ranging from $100 plus in terms of MSRP, but a lot of them are actually a lot more expensive than that, and this is a theme that is typically targeted towards adults. It is the pivotal theme that LEGO Group have been using to open up the world of LEGO to a more mature and grown-up audience. This has been a massive part of their strategy over the last couple of years. They've had all sorts of branding efforts in stores, saying things like adults welcome, but also you can see this strategy playing out in their pricing and having more expensive sets such as Titanic, Colosseum, Eiffel Tower, and many others. And of course, with that higher price also comes more complexity in terms of the design, and that also caters more to a more grown-up audience. So this entire theme, since its inception, has been the LEGO Group's effort to bring adults into the world of LEGO. A lot of these sets are also 16 plus on the box, and this is LEGO Group straight up calling out that these sets are not made for children like a lot of other LEGO themes are. Now this theme, LEGO Creator Expert, LEGO Icons, is also broken down into multiple different sub-themes, and a sub-theme of course is just a set of products within a LEGO theme that are similar to each other. So for example, every year we see a modular building that gets released, and these are buildings that are Creator Expert or Icons themed, but they all kind of fit together in a city. So if you're a LEGO city builder, you're going to want to collect these modular buildings every year, and then every year we have modular building fans being excited about the next one that's going to release and buying up the one that's about to retire. That is a sub-theme. The modular buildings is a sub-theme within the Icons theme, and that's not the only one. We also have the vehicles. We also have these Creator Expert Icons vehicles that get released frequently, such as the Volkswagen Beetle or the Volkswagen T2 camper van or the Harley Davidson, Porsche 911. We've had many of these really nice detailed, more adult focused vehicle designs that make up another sub-theme within the world of LEGO Icons. And then we have things like the Winter Village sets. This is another entire sub-theme. It really could be its own theme in the world of LEGO, but it does exist within the LEGO Icons theme overall. And this is where every year they release a holiday themed set, and this in itself forms another collection. And each of these sub-themes are quite different from each other and have their own unique features. So for example, the LEGO Creator Expert and Icons vehicles, a lot of the time they don't come with minifigures, whereas the holiday sets of course come with a lot of holiday themed minifigures and are a little bit more playable and more kind of catered towards children than something like those Creator Expert vehicles are. Now in addition to these sub themes, we also have these big standalone Icon sets like the Eiffel Tower or the Colosseum or the Titanic, and these sets are massive in scale and very expensive, and this has been a bigger strategy from the LEGO Group in the last couple of years. Obviously it is paying off for them, and fans are flocking to buy these extremely large LEGO sets in the Icons theme. Now, when it comes to investing, LEGO investing, where we buy a set with the intention of it going up in value, this is a theme that has had a strong track record overall. Now, it does depend on a couple of different factors, and each of those sub-themes that we talked about could be treated a little bit differently here and perform differently as an investment over time. But in general, we have seen that this is a theme that can do well as an investment, but it is not entirely a sure thing, and we do need to figure out how to pick the right sets. And some of the characteristics I just talked about Icons and Creator Expert really do lend well to an investment. So for example, the fact that this theme is targeted towards adults really does help with values over time, because adults have more disposable income. And so if you are an adult who has been collecting the modular buildings every year and you missed one, there is a higher likelihood that you're going to go to Amazon or eBay and go back and find the old modular buildings that you missed out on so you can complete your collection. And this leads to a sustained demand on the modular buildings long after retirement. And we've seen sets like Brickbank right here skyrocket in value from $170 MSRP up to $740 at one point after 2.5 years of retirement. $170 to $740 on Amazon in the US. That is what happened with LEGO Creator Expert Brickbank and Detective's Office, another modular building. Over the course of the same time period of retirement, 2.5 years, it went from $160 up to $600. So two modular buildings that retired and then after 2.5 years had reached significant heights heights and became incredible investments. Does this mean that all modular buildings are incredible? It does not, because others did not reach these same heights. We right now are seeing Corner Garage a little slower. It was a $200 set, and right now on Amazon I think it's going for something like $330. Still probably a 50% return on investment, but it's taken a little bit longer to pick up some steam. However, with these two examples, it did take those 2.5 years to really hit those maximum values, so we could still see Corner Garage picking up more steam. Now, in addition to the fact that Creator Expert and Icon sets are targeted towards adults, we also have to consider the fact that a lot of these sets have a lot of collectability. Collectability is essentially where there are multiple sets that are heavily related to each other, and then if someone buys one of them, they're also going to want to go and get the second one, and that will drive demand on sales of all of the sets collectively. And I mentioned the example of the modular buildings, where a city builder has bought 10 of the modular buildings already, and of course they're going to want to go and get the ones that they're missing. That is a great example of collectability, but this also exists in other sub-themes within the Lego Creator and Icons world, such as the vehicles, because when someone bought that Volkswagen T1, they may also want to go and get the Volkswagen T2 to put right next to it on a shelf. And then we see this with the Winter Village collection sets, of course, as well. We have a lot of collectability where every year the same fans are going out to get those sets because they want to finish their collection. But when it comes to Icons, we do need to realize that collectability is not the same across the board here, because then when we look at something like the Titanic set, does the Titanic set have collectability with other Creator Expert or Icon sets? Does someone who buys the Titanic also want to go buy the Colosseum? Are those sets related in any way? I really don't think that they are, and in fact the scale of those large sets makes for the fact that a lot of people don't have the room to display a couple of those large sets, and so a lot of these larger Icon sets are actually lacking in collectability, so we need to remember that as well when determining what may prop up the demand in the future on those sets after they've stopped getting manufactured. So we see a few different factors here that can lead to demand in retirement. So adults having disposable income, great incredible designs, in fact some of the best designs that Lego have to offer in general, and heavy collectability across this theme. There are other things that also lead to heavy demand on these sets, and some sets much more demanded than others, of course. But what about the supply? Are some of these sets lesser in supply? Would that lead to the price going up faster on some of these sets? That's definitely exactly what happens, because some of the Creator Expert or Icon sets are harder to find. Some of them are not really stocked in a lot of retailers. Some retailers prefer to only sell smaller Lego sets and are not really going to go and stock a $500 plus Lego set like Colosseum or some of the other sets. But even more importantly to consider here is the fact that a lot of Lego investors will not be investing in these really expensive sets because they just don't either have the capital or don't want to take on the risk. A lot of Lego investors prefer to buy cheaper sets, and that's why we're going to have more supply on $10 or $20 or $30 Lego sets in the aftermarket than something that costs $500 on the shelves, because not a lot of people are going to go ahead and buy a couple of units of a $500 Lego set and then go ahead and store it. But the most important thing, in my opinion, to think about when it comes to the supply on this theme is that some of these sets may have very low supply in the aftermarket because some Lego investors just will not spend that much money on a single unit of inventory. A lot of people will not be investing in a $500 Lego set because it's a little bit more risk, it's harder to ship, it's harder to store, and it takes more capital. And so a lot of Lego investors, they're going to default to the cheaper sets. And there will of course be people who do go ahead and buy these more expensive sets as an investment, but it will definitely be a lower quantity, and as a result supply on some of these sets could be constrained a little bit more in the aftermarket. So sets like Titanic, Colosseum, some of these sets I can see having pretty low supply after a couple of years of retirement, and some of that will start to dry up because a lot of Lego investors are just not jumping in. And added to this is the fact that a lot of these sets never go on sale. These are some of the sets that are simply not discounted. If you want to get a great price on some of these sets, you got to do it when you're getting double VIP points, or you're getting gift purchases, or stacking or creating your own deals. And a lot of these sets are never going to be discounted by 30, 40, 50% during their shelf life. And that is also going to reduce the number of sellers that will jump in and go ahead and invest in these sets as a Lego investor. So this could lead to lower supply and sustained demand on some of these sets, which is of course the recipe for the price to grow over time. Now again, this does not mean that all Icon sets will be growing in value and be great investments, because some of them honestly are not going to be great investments, and it's important to look at the track record of past sets that are comparable. So for example, the Winter Village sets over the last couple of years have been underperforming, and some of these sets have not reached the same level that they used to reach when it comes to profitability as a Lego investment. And then other sub-themes such as the vehicles still have really strong performing sets in terms of investment, but they're not all strong performing. So for example, the first year of retirement on the Harley Davidson, honestly, it kind of underwhelmed me a little bit. I thought it would do a little bit better. But then if we look at the Volkswagen Beetle right here, the first year of retirement on this set, it was a $100 set. By the end of the first year, it was selling for $195. So you could have sold it for double at the end of the first year. Now, after you pay your fees, that's not exactly doubling your money, but if you did not pay full MSRP for it, right here we can see that it actually got discounted. And if you got it at 20% off, then you're doubling your money by selling it for $200 at the end of the first year of retirement. So really, some of these vehicle sets have outperformed others, and it is important to look at things like the supply and demand information of the sets to see which ones you think will be the best investment, and then of course making sure you're buying them at the right price. Now overall, Lego Icons is a theme that has a lot of potential. This is a theme where we can see sets doing extremely well as an investment, but it is a theme that is not completely consistent across the board, and we do see underperformers there as well. It is important to try and get the sets at a great price and to try and pick the ones that will have sustained demand in the future. And this honestly is where I made some mistakes in the past. When I thought that Harley Davidson might be a good Lego set to invest in, I didn't think enough about the target market and how aligned it is with the Lego market and how demand could sustain itself over time. So these are the lessons that I've been learning over the years as I've been investing in creator expert sets, and I've had some incredible investments in this theme, such as the brick bank that we looked at earlier, and I also did get the creator expert Volkswagen Beetle at a great price and made somewhere between 80 and 100% returns on that set. But then I've also had sets that didn't really meet the expectations that I had, such as the Harley Davidson. But what are your thoughts when it comes to Lego creator expert or icons? Are you an investor? What do you think makes this a good or bad theme to invest in? Let me know in the comments down below. And by the way, like we said, you got to get these sets at the right price, and if you want to be able to see the best deals available on Lego sets at any given time and you are in the US market, make sure to grab a free account for our deal tracker, our Lego deal tracker. It is called Brick Probe. That is going to show you Amazon prices, Walmart, Target, Lego.com prices, and help you to find the best deals on Lego sets. You can get the link in the description down below to grab your free account there. And with that, thank you so much for being here. I'm Shane from brickbucks.net, and I will see you in the next one.